Alrighty. Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Dark Souls. When we last left off, we had just finished making our way through the majority of the Undead Parish. Apologies for calling it the rest of Undead Burg last time, got the names mixed up. And on this episode, we're gonna head back to the Undead Parish and finish off our business there by fighting the boss and finally ringing the first Bell of Awakening. So, starting off from Firelink Shrine, we're gonna make our way right up using the elevator. And yeah, I just use the way from Firelink Shrine because I just think it's a tad more convenient. There's just, get past 3 enemies easily, and also the upcoming enchanter doesn't spy you walking across the hall, so he's not immediately aggro to you. And I also just feel that it's shorter. So, we're now back in the Undead Parish. We're going to be making our way up to the second floor of this church here, which already have one of those big skeleton knights. Now, we want to be a bit careful coming around this part, simply because the enchanter that's over here is one big problem of an enemy. Aside from, his long-range casting to snipe you from up above, he also has the power to boost the attack strength of other enemies, and I believe their health too. Anyways, he just enhances all other enemies around him continuously, and there's a bunch of hollows coming up that he's going to enhance. So, just be careful when approaching this area, because the enchanter is definitely going to aggro, along with all the other hollows that aggro. Alright. Oh wow, he is not actually enhancing them. Huh. That is odd behavior from him. Is backing up though. Alright. Oh. You hear that little noise he's making? Yeah, now he's strange that he didn't do it immediately. Alright. Well, anyways, so that's the enchanter. They're these big guys. They've got like 6 eyes on their helmets, and they wield tridents. Aside from launching long-range magic attacks, they can also do this little dance which just enhances all the enemies around them. Not too difficult to take on. They can just be slightly annoying in bigger groups. Thankfully, the one that spawns up here is another one-time spawn, and kill him once and he's permanently dead. That's because the enchanters aren't actually undead. They're still living humans, and they work for an important boss that will be coming up later on in the game. Though I'm sure most of you can already probably guess who. So, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to collect another large soul. And we're going to come around this way and see another knight just ahead. Block his attack. Oh, got me in a tight hallway here. There we go. See this hollow around the bend in this barrel. Into it. Hollow will drop. And he's got an item on him. A humanity, specifically. Which is good to have. Now, this door doesn't do anything. Roll through this door, though. Make your way up. And here we have Lautrec of Carim, I believe.
Oh, still human, are you? Then I am in luck. Could you help me? As you can see, I am stuck without recourse.
Yeah. This guy, he's He's a bit of a problematic guy. We'll discuss it in just a bit after we save him, though. So, using the mystery key we picked up earlier, now we free him.
Thank you. Yes, sincerely. I am Knight Lautrec of Karim. I truly appreciate this, and I guarantee a reward. Only later.
Yep, so you're not going to get your reward from him right now. If you want to get it, just use a homeward bone, make your way back to the bonfire, or just walk there if you want to. Homeward bone's just faster. Make sure you temporarily rest at the bonfire. Heading down here, right outside the Firekeeper, is now Lautrec.
Ah, hello there. I have your reward. Please, accept it.
Just a sunlight medal.
I am grateful to you for freeing me. Not enough for you? Well, let's not be greedy now. You again. What is it? Our futures are murky. Let's not be too friendly now.
So, yeah, if you're feeling that this guy is just super duper suspicious, you have good instincts. Lautrec is an asshole. He's got a quest line that's really annoying, mostly because it involves the death of the Firekeeper. So, if you get your hands on 3 different Firekeeper souls, which isn't the most difficult achievement, once you progress through the game enough, you'll eventually just get your hands on 3. Once you have collected at least 3 Firekeeper souls, he will then attack and kill the Firekeeper of Firelink Shrine, thus making Firelink Shrine completely useless. And in order to fix that, you'd have to get all the way to a special city called Anor Londo, which we will be getting to in the future. And when you get there, he has a summon sign, duelist sign even, and you have to summon yourself into his world as an invasion, and then you have to track him down and fight him to the death along with 2 other guys. It is a really annoying quest line. And honestly, it's not really worth the reward, because yes, you do get his armor, but there's something else that you can get irregardless of whether you complete his quest line or not. The best ring in the game, the Ring of Favor and Protection, or the FAP ring as it's more commonly known. You can get it along with his armor set if you complete the quest. However, you can also get it by just killing him right now. And honestly, it is far more worth it to just end him right now, keep him from killing the Firekeeper, keep him from being a nuisance. So, that's what we're gonna do right now. Of course, he is a bit of a difficult fight, so if you don't want to deal with him, you can just do this.
You leave me
Well,
no choice.
I messed up. Oh, not completely. So yeah, normally you can just kick him off and he'll die. Or you can do what I did and just trick him into rolling off the cliff. But now you must be thinking, hey, wait, he died and rolled off the cliff. Now his item's gone. What are you supposed to do? Well, if you quit the game and then reload the game, what's this? An item has appeared. A humanity and the Ring of Favor and Protection. 5 humanity, actually. So, yeah. if there's an NPC that you kill by like sending them off a cliff and they're supposed to drop an item, you can just reload the game and his items will just appear right here. It is the fastest and just easiest way to get the best ring in the game. Now, you do want to be very careful with this ring, because as it says in this description right here, it boosts HP, stamina, and load, but it breaks when removed. So yeah, this slot is now permanently taken up by the Ring of Favor and Protection. You will not remove it, ever. Now the only ring slot you got is this one, but honestly, why would you ever remove this ring? So now we have the Ring of Favor and Protection, one of the best items in the game. And with it equipped, I can now put my hat back on and not fat roll. Isn't that amazing? So, with that all set, we're now going to make our way back to the Undead Parish. Going this way. You know, before we go, why don't we just talk to the Crestfallen Warrior? Just for fun. See what he's been up to.
Don't you ever think to forge your weapons? You'd better find a smith box soon, unless you enjoy swinging about with blunt instruments.
That's fair. Should probably upgrade our weapons, but I'm saving my souls until I can wield the Black Knight Greatsword. Speaking of which, though, you probably should make sure to spend your souls before you enter a big boss fight. So that's what we're going to do right now. Going to raise my vitality up a bit more. Now we're ready to roll. Yeah. So, gonna make our way back to the Undead Parish with the elevator shortcut. Make our way up. Elevator takes forever sometimes. It's not the longest elevator in the game, I don't believe. Alrighty. Now all of these guys have, of course, respawned. Thankfully, the enchanter didn't. So this isn't as annoying to get through as it was before. Now we can just run in. Ooh, got 4 of them once. Alrighty. And with all those hollows dealt, we can now make our way to the boss. Now, quick tip, just before you go to any boss, you want to try and reverse your hollowing, not only because it'll give you a slight health boost, but also because, for some bosses, there's a little thing you can do called summoning. Now, summoning sometimes, summoning involves both NPCs and players, mostly other players, for almost every boss in the game. If you're human, you're almost guaranteed to find some players putting their summon signs down just for different bosses, just for the heck of it. But there are also sometimes NPC summons. Now, these summons only appear once you reverse your hallowing and are human, which is, again, one of the other major benefits. So aside from the health boost and the item discovery boost, you will also be able to use summoning signs if you're fully human. Now, will I be using summoning signs in this series? Yes. Why? Because story progression, and also I think it's fun. Most Let's Plays and other things that I've seen don't seem to do this. I don't know why, but I like to use summons just because I like fighting with Solaire most of all. And he is summonable in a lot of boss fights. And Solaire has arrived. And yes, he does that praise the sun thing every single time he is summoned, and it is fantastic every single time. So, Solaire's gonna help us with this boss. Who is this boss? Well, you're about to find out. All quiet so far. There are these strange statues all over the place, though. I wonder what that could mean. The Bell Gargoyle, guardian of the first Bell of Awakening. Honestly, this is a really cool boss fight. Flying around, using big weapons in the shield. Cool thing about this boss fight is that this is the first boss fight to really demonstrate changes in the battle. Because one, he can fly around, and he is very versatile. And secondly, in the middle of the fight, a second gargoyle spawns. That is just guy also breathes fire. Big thing. Now, thing to note that I failed to do. For the main Bell Gargoyle, if you can manage to cut his tail off, then you'll get a special weapon for him. I failed to do it this time, just because I was really aiming for it. Honestly though, you don't really have to worry about it too much. You'll get the tail weapon from him at a later time. So, being this boss fight gives us twin humanities and a sunlight medal. And now that we've finished that off, let us head up and complete the first step of our destiny. And thus, the first Bell of Awakening has been rung. Now all we gotta do is find the second one. So, let's make our way back down. Slide all the way down. And now, we have Oswald.
Greetings. I am Oswald of Carim, the Pardon. Thou art a friend. For thee, a warm welcome. Cometh thou to confess, or to accuse? For indeed all sin is my domain.
So this is Oswald. He's a pretty cool guy. He is from Carim, as he just stated. And his main gimmick is that he will absolve you of your sins. What that means is basically, if there's an NPC like Andre or Solaire or any other NPC you run into, and you accidentally attack them, that will instantly make them hostile and render their services pointless and unusable. However, If you come up here to Oswald, you can request absolution, and for a whole bunch of souls, Oswald can make it as though that attack never happened, getting the NPC to forgive you for your actions and making them usable again. It is an extremely necessary part of this game because it is very, very easy to accidentally attack an NPC. Other than that, though, he also sells a couple things. Purging stones, indictments, homeward bones, Book of the Guilty. He also sells the Karmic Justice miracle. He sells Velka's Talisman for cleric builds. And he also sells a couple rings, including an unlimited stock of the Ring of Sacrifice. Or not unlimited, but a stock of the Ring of Sacrifice. Or, well, no. I do believe it is unlimited. Never mind. So, what do these do? Well, Purging Stone is something you need in the event that you are cursed. So, in this game, if you end up being cursed, which is the gaseous stuff that the basilisks will spud around, and we'll encounter them later on in the game. But curse is the instant kill status buildup, and it basically turns you to stone. However, it also has another effect. Went down the wrong tube. If you end up cursed, then your health pool will be halved. And it will remain so until you use a purging stone to break the curse. Yeah, it's kind of completely horrible. Which is why, thankfully, in later games in the series, being cursed doesn't have that secondary effect. But yes, if you end up cursed, you will need to use a purging stone in order to break the curse and restore your health. Indictment is report trespass of an invader. Basically, if you're killed by a invader, you can use this to get a sort of pseudo revenge. It basically puts them on the hit list of the Blade of the Dark Moon Covenant, and then they'll just invade and then kill that invader for you as a sort of revenge. Homeward Bones, we know what they do, and Book of the Guilty, it's an online play item. It basically lets you check the list of whatever players are on the Dark Moon hit list. So we're going to leave all those alone for right now. We don't...
Thou art welcome any time. It is only human to commit a sin.
So for right now, we don't really need anything from him. Does have a creepy-ass laugh. And honestly, when he's laughing, his voice almost sounds echoed. So he's like... Just for the guy who's supposed to absolve you of all sin, he's very creepy. Especially with his alabaster white skin. This dude is pasty and creepy. And yet very useful and necessary. So... after dealing with the gargoyle and ringing the bell of the awakening, we're going to make our way back to the bonfire just above Andre. Because that is going to lead us into our next area. This way. This way. Alrighty. We're just gonna ignore the hollows along the way. Run right past them. And make our way towards the bonfire. And save. Now, before we do anything else, Probably spend our souls. Seems good enough levels. And once your souls are all spent up, we're gonna head down this way. Down towards Sen's fortress. Now, unfortunately, this place isn't open just yet. It'll open up once we ring both bells of awakening. The important thing, though, is this man.
Oh, forgive me. I was absorbed in thought. I am Siegmeyer of Katarina. Quite honestly, I've run flat up against a wall. Or a gate, I should say. The thing just won't budge. No matter how long I wait. And oh, have I waited. So, here I sit, in quite a pickle, weighing my options, so to speak.
Siegmeyer of Katarina. Yet another fan favorite character, and for good reason. This dude is awesome. Always so jolly, always so happy, and always so goofy. Yeah, he's trapped behind, well, he wants to progress forward, but this gate is standing in his way. The only solution he can come up with is to just wait for it to open. Such a goofy dude.
Still closed. Still closed.
Yeah, him and Solaire are, without a doubt, some of my favorite characters in the entire series. He's got a questline that we'll be following throughout the game. It's pretty straightforward. You'll just meet him in different spots as he's essentially trying to have an adventure, but he'll keep getting stuck, and we'll keep helping him along the way. And eventually, he will lead us down to some very important areas. Or at least we'll find him in those important areas. So, we're going to continue on down this way, and we're going to head out in this direction. And we are going to enter the name would pop up. This strange forest full of tree people. What could this place be? Oh, it's none other than the Darkroot Garden. A dark and magical forest full of dark magical creatures, one of which whom I'm pretty sure just accidentally fell off the cliff. Magical indeed. So, gonna make our way straight in. Ooh. Got a couple guys here ready to destroy us. Now, these guys aren't too difficult to deal with, though you really should be careful, as these guys do have a grab attack. Right there, you just saw it. If these guys manage to grab you, they will deal a lot of damage and very likely kill you. Aside from that, though, not too difficult to deal with. So, we're going to continue making our way in. And now, we'll go through this illusionary wall and find a bonfire. Safe. Now then. Probably saw this weird looking door. This door can only be opened with that crest of Artorias we saw Andre selling earlier. And we'll buy it later and use it later. It's for a boss that we'll encounter later on down the line. But for now, I'm gonna take a little rest at the bonfire. And I think that is actually going to do us for today. Yeah, a little bit shorter than last time, but last time was an accidentally extra long video, and I'm trying to keep these closer to 30-minute intervals. So, next time, we'll be making our way through the Darkroot Garden, and hopefully we'll be reaching the Darkroot Basin before too long. And after that, we will be heading back up into the Undead Burg and progressing to another new area from there. See you guys then, and thank you for watching.